and welcome to the Knitterarium podcast. My name is Ruth. I'm a knitwear designer here in Westmeath in Ireland, where this podcast is coming to you from. Today is Saturday the 5th of August and this is episode 25. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are a new to me viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope you stick around. I want to thank you all for taking some time out of your busy day to spend it with me. We will get on with some admin news first and get it out of the way. The places that you can find me are on my website, Knitterarium.com. You can find me on Instagram as Knitterarium, and you can find our Ravelry Group Knitterarium. If you just search under the groups tab on Ravelry for Knitterarium, you will find us. I will put all the links for all of those down below there. You will also find the show notes down below with links to anything I talk about, as well as you will find them in the Ravelry group as well. So if you want to interact with the show notes in either places, they're available for you. I have some shawl knit along news for you. On the 1st of July, we started our Go Your Own Way shawl knit along. This is part of the Knitterarium's Year of You shawl knit along. We are into our 4th knit along of this year. We have 2 left. This one started on the 1st of July. It is the Go Your Own Way shawl knit along, as I said, and it runs until August the 31st. So anyone who has started their Knitterarium shawl and has taken part in that, we are just over halfway there. I have the prizes gotten that I want to show you. It's been a while from my podcast last, and I'll speak about that later. So, but I did. That means I have the prizes organised and gotten, and the yarn prize for the Go Your Own Way shawl knit along is this beautiful skein of Alice. It's called Alice yarns on Etsy, and this one here is called Loose Lips, and this is a 4-ply high twist, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and this is it's beautiful. This beautiful skein of yarn. So that is the prize for the yarn prize for the Go Your Own Way shawl knit along. And we also have a project bag as well. So there will be 2 prizes. The project bag is this beautiful tree print project bag, and this is from Fondant Fibres. I happen to be placing an order with both Alice yarns and Fondant Fibres, and I thought these would make gorgeous prizes, so I happen to pick them up for you. So you'll see Fondant Fibres stamped there on the inside. It's beautiful, just plain cream inside, and this beautiful, I think this tree print is just, this is gorgeous. It's just beautiful, and it's got this, look at the little tree charm for on the zipper. So they are the prizes for the Go Your Own Way shawl knit along, and I'll have pictures of those up in the finished object thread for that. Links to any details for that will be down below. It has been run in the Ravelry group, so you'll be able to find all the details over there. Let me see. And as I said, this is the 4th one this year. We have 2 left, so if you're a bit disappointed that you missed out on this shawl knit along, we have another one starting on September the 1st, so you are more than welcome to join in with that. We'd love to have you. Excuse me, peppermint tea today. That is the admin news out of the way. So we will grab our knitting, we'll get comfy, and we'll get started with the inside world of Knitterarium. The inside world of Knitterarium has been busy from I spoke to you last. I last podcast, let me see. I last podcast on the 1st of July, so it's been just over a month. I had spent most of the first half, certainly the first half of July, busy. I took 2 weeks off. We were doing some family things, and so really from the second half of July onwards, I've been catching up. It's lovely taking a break, but you have to make up for it. And you may, from previous episodes when I was explaining, I had gotten a lot of patterns written. That worked because I was able to spend the second half of July and up to now just knitting on those, which is really what I wanted to do. The design or the yarn that I was showing you for the design in the last episode, there was 4 colours of Eden Cottage Pemberley yarn. There was two very similar shades of pink, and you might remember the green and the fuchsia pink, and you may have seen them on my Instagram feed. That pattern is finished, and it is gone to my tech editor, and it is gone to my testers at the moment, and I have moved on. That is part of a new collection, so I have moved on to the next. I've actually moved on to the next 2 designs in that collection. It's a three design collection, so it is. My yarn is in a mess. So the bag I'm keeping one of those projects in is this, my gorgeous Emerald Fibres bag from Kira. It's lovely. I'm just trying to tidy up the mess that seems to be in my project bag from it. So I can show you the yarns I'm using for this. The yarns I am using is Oakworth 4-ply from Eden Cottage Yarn. So this is the tag. So I'm using the Oakworth, and this is 100% New Zealand Polworth wool. And the colours I'm using is this beautiful silver birch colour and this beautiful dahlia colour. So it's a beautiful soft yellowy orange kind of colour, and it is just fantastic. I love these. You may have caught glimpses of this on my Instagram feed. It's really glimpses of the wool and small glimpses of the pattern. I'm not ready to reveal these patterns yet. They will hopefully be coming out soon. So that is one of the designs I'm working on. I can't show it to you. What I will say is it's lovely. I'm really loving how those colours are working up. They are doing just what I wanted them to do, colour wise, and I picked that yarn in particular because it has fantastic stitch definition, and I wasn't disappointed. So it's a real pleasure to work on it. I feel bad calling it work because it's not really. It's such a fun project, so it is. Now the other design, as I said, it is a 3 design collection, and that's the second one. The first one is with my testers. That's the second one, and then the third one. For the third one, I am again using Eden Cottage yarns. So you may have picked up on it that this is using Eden Cottage yarns for all 3. The yarns I am using for this one is, the third one is Milburn, the Milburn 4-ply, and that is 85% BFL, 15% silk, and this yarn is gorgeous to use. I am using, I hope this shows up, this is Black Tulip. Yeah, this one is Black Tulip, and it is the most wonderful. I think that's showing up a little darker than it is. It's not quite just that dark. It's this beautiful Black Tulip colour. It's just fantastic. And if you've seen black tulips in the garden, it's exactly that colour. I am teaming it with this natural colour again, this is Milburn 4-ply from Eden Cottage Yarns. So this is the two of them together. I think the black tulip is showing up a whole lot darker than it is. Maybe that there might be a good. So they are the colours I'm using in the third one. But again, I can't show you, so it is all zipped up and in my gorgeous hedgehog bag by Busy Pottering. Oh, I love this bag. Okay, it's got hedgehogs, so that's why I love it, but it's fantastic. I love it. What else has been happening inside the world of Knitterarium? Let me see. The Wildflower Honey socks, they are currently with the testers. They should be finishing up now in another week or two. They're finishing up along with, it should be finishing up with my editor as well. And yeah, I think really that's all. I've been concentrating on the new collection quite a lot. It has taken up the majority of my time. And I've been doing planning for what comes after it for later this autumn and winter, and I've been really concentrating as well on next spring. And a lot of what I want to do for then I'm laying down now. So really that's all that's been happening on the inside world of Knitterarium. We will move on to what's not on my needles. So what's not on my needles from the last time I spoke with you is, I should have a drum roll here or something, is my herbarium sweater. Look at this. Now my herbarium sweater is by NCL Knits, and I will put the link down below for you. It is all finished. I knit this in Eden Cottage Yarns Tempo 4-ply, which is 75% superwash merino. I think it's superwash merino, and 25% nylon. It's definitely merino and nylon. 75-25. So this is it here, and the colour I knit this in was apricot tulip. So it's beautiful. It's all finished. I love the fit of this. It fits just perfectly. Even though it took me quite a while to knit it, my gauge stayed true to what it had been in the swatch. I blocked it, but it was nothing more than just a relax. I did it really just to relax all the stitches so that they would sit down and just look pretty. But yeah, so you'll see we have this beautiful lace patterning on the front, and then just a plain stockinette back, and then the sleeves are plain stockinette to match with some rib. So that is lovely, and I am really looking forward to wearing it. I'm not modelling it for you today because although it has just started to rain here, it is still it's warm enough that I bake in it. So that's not on my needles, and I'm so pleased to have that off my needles. I'm so pleased to have it off my needles and to be able to wear it. I love knitting on it. It was a project that I really enjoyed sitting down and knitting, and I just found it extremely relaxing. So much so that once I finished it, I cast on another garment, but we'll speak about that in what's on my needles. I have another what's not on my needles though. I finished these up actually this morning, and I wove in the ends and everything, and they are my my dearest loveliest Elizabeth socks. So you'd see sock 1 and sock 2 both finished. There we go. There we are. So I'll take a close-up look at them. So this is my dearest loveliest Elizabeth sock pattern. I have to block these now. As I said, they were just finished this morning. So you will see the little texture that's gotten from the little bow pattern. If I hold that up close, we might see here the little bow stitch that's in it. once these are blocked, that will sit down a bit better. So it's this pretty little bow stitch that's worked, and then we have 1x1 ribbon. We have an I have partridge heel. Is it? Yes. Heel turn. Now I've worked this part, the main part, in Tempo 4-ply driftwood by Eden Cottage Yarns, and for contrast I have used Oakworth in Meadow Rue. Oakworth is from Eden Cottage Yarns as well, and it is 100%. It is, hang on, I think I have it in the project bag I bought. I must have known I was going to forget because I brought it around. So the Oakworth is 100% New Zealand poleworth, and the Tempo 4-ply, it's not merino, it's 75% wool and 25% nylon. So my herbarium is 75% wool, 25% nylon, because I use Tempo 4-ply for it. So, and out of, I had one skein of the Meadow Rue. This is the Meadow Rue, this is the Oakworth, and it doesn't seem to be showing up, but it is a really soft grey lilac colour, and then this is the driftwood, so it is. So I had one skein of each. I knit a pair of 2 Darcy with Love with the Meadow Rue as the main colour and the driftwood for contrast, and then I knit this pair of My Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth using the driftwood for the main colour and the Meadow Rue for the contrast. And I still have this much Meadow Rue and this much driftwood, so I have enough to use both of these for contrasting on some other project in the future. So I've gotten 2 pairs of socks, and I'll be able to use the ends for contrast, which I think is just brilliant. I really love that. So yeah, back to the socks. So then I just after the gusset, back in the driftwood, and then contrasting toe in the Meadow Rue, and that was them. And as I said, I just finished them this morning. I kitchenered, closed the last toe. I had one done last night, and I finished the other one just so I'd have them to show you, because there was not much point in showing you about 4 rows and a kitchening of a toe. So I did that before I podcast. So I was able to show them to you, because they're not on my needles anymore. So that is another pair of socks all done, and I'm looking forward to being able to wear those. So we will move on now onto what's on my needles. So what is on my needles? My Wildflower Honey socks. If you may recall, or you may not, it's been a while. I knit a cuff down version, and I knit a toe up version. Well, I knit one toe up version. So I still have a toe up version. I still have a toe up sock that I need to knit, because I only knit one. One was all I needed just to confirm the pattern for myself and knit a sample so that I could get it sent to my editor and to testers. So as they've been working away on it, I need to get on with the second one so that I can photograph it. So with My Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth socks finished and off the needles, I am going to cast on that second sock and get it done out of the way before I cast on any other socks. So I will be using this Oakworth 4-ply in Summer Harvest. This is the New Zealand poleworth. I'll be using this for the main colour, and I will be using the Wool Barn Rose Garden for the contrast. Now I can show you the toe-up version of these, but actually if you go back and you look in my Instagram feed, you'll see what these are like anyway. So this is the toe-up version. I have the toe in the contrasting rose garden, and the foot of the sock. Actually, I could just put this on the blocker. Hang on, we'll just put this on the blocker and that'll be easier. I'm putting it on back to front. So that's clever. So this, as I said, is the this is the toe-up version. So the toe is in rose garden, and the body of the sock is in the Oakworth 4-ply. There's a heel flap and heel turn on it. Then we have a small amount in the main body in the Oakworth, and then we have this beautiful honeycomb patterning just at the top of the leg, and then just some ribbing. So this is the toe-up version. The cuff down version. I've just realized that because I've shown these on my Instagram feed, I can show them to you now, so we don't have to keep them a secret. These will hopefully be released just as soon as my testers and editor are finished and I get them photographed. So hopefully later this month you'll be able to get this pattern. So this is the cuff down version. So excuse me, I haven't even put it on straight. Dear me. There. Oh, this is like putting on a shawl live. Oh, I need to practice. So you'll see we have the main parts of the cuff down version were worked in the rose garden with the summer harvest Oakworth for contrast. So you'll see we have ribbon, and then we have the gorgeous honeycomb patterning at the top of the leg. Then we have just a plain vanilla leg, and this this pattern really suits speckled yarns because it's vanilla and we just use some solid for contrast. We put the patterning in there, and it just means that we still get to see the patterning and we can still use the complementing speckled yarns. And I love speckled yarns. I think they're just fantastic. So then we have heel flap and gusset and heel turn in contrast and in the Oakworth, and then just plain foot and contrasting toe. They are the wildflower honey socks. So really you got an extra glimpse at those two, so you did. So as I said, I will be casting on that second toe up sock, and I will be knitting. I want to get it done, and as I'm quite busy with 2 shawls, I will use my sock knitting time to get that sock done, and it's only 1 sock. And who knows what I'll cast on then. We'll see. We'll get that much done first. So that will be cast on at some stage this weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend here in Ireland, so I have a long weekend, so I'm able to I will be able to cast those on and get them started. The other thing on my needles is my Grace cardigan. This is, as I said, once I cast off Herbarium, I just really wanted to cast on something else, another garment, and I had the yarn already gotten. So this here is the pattern. So this here is the Grace cardigan. It will focus. That's Grace there, and it is by Jane Richmond. I'll put a link down below to it. So I'm just putting it back onto my pattern where I was, so that I know what I'm doing. Okay. So the yarn I'm using, I am using this Eton Cottage Yarns Milburn 4-ply. This is the Blue Flace Leicester, 85% BFL and 15% silk. This is Autumn Fields. Yeah, Autumn Fields, this colourway. It's this rich golden brown colour. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. And wait till I see where I am with it. Now I swatched for this last week. Yeah, I swatched for this last week, and I ended up going up to a 4mm needle. So I am knitting this on my 4mm high straps. So I have made, it's knit top down, so I have made this much progress. This is the back. This is the lovely patterning on the back. Isn't it lovely? And so yeah, I've made this much. So big progress. But this was really, I was very sad to put this down at the end of last weekend and get back to some work knitting, because I was really enjoying knitting this. This was extremely relaxing. It's a really well written pattern, and I hope it continues. Now the patterning is just at the top part of the cardigan. I'll show you on the picture. I can get really close. So you'll see that the patterning is just here, and then it's plain stockinette. So really, once I have this bit done, it's going to be just plain stockinette with ribbing at the bottom. So, you know, as cardigans go, it's going to be fairly easy and mindless. It's going to be perfect for weekend knitting. So it is. So I'm really looking forward to get back to this. It's going to be fun. That is the garment I am knitting on at the moment, and I am keeping this as well in my Fondant Fibres Alice in Wonderland bag. This is my favourite bag for garments. It's just the perfect size for them. So it is. They fit in with all the yarn, the needles, the project. Everything just fits in there, and it's brilliant, and I just know it's all there. So that is my Grace cardigan. The other thing that is on my needles is my Grania shawl. Now this is Grania here on the mannequin, and I am knitting this Grania shawl as part of our Go Your Own Way shawl knit along. Now what I am doing, I'm just down to here. I've just finished this second garter stitch section, so I'm just going to be starting this. I'm ready to start this lace part here. So this is how far down I am. I've just this bit here left to go. So I'm doing quite well. Now I am knitting a 2-colour version, and these are my 2 colours. My chosen yarns are Titus 4-ply by Eden Cottage Yarns, and this is 75% merino wool and 25% silk. I am using, let me see which is which. Yeah, this one is Briar Rose, so the slightly darker pink is Briar Rose, and then the lighter pink that I'm using is Rambling Rose. They're the 2 colours I'm knitting, and I am also using then I'm using a little bit of these beads. Now you may not be able to pick it up from on the camera, but the all over on these lace sections is beaded. But what I decided to do, because so you can see, because the beads are a little bit stronger in colour to both of the yarns, I decided to use it as a way to just add an extra line of colour through it. So at the start and at the end of each of the lace sections, I've just added beads on the first and on the last row of the lace sections. So I'll add them here, and then I'm not sure if you can see them here, here and then here. You'll see that when I show it to you now. So it's just adding an extra line of colour into it. Now I am knitting this on my 4mm highs. So this is the progress I have made so far. So you'll see the first, I am using the rambling rows for the garter sections, and I'm using the briar rows here on the lace sections, and you'll see I have the first row and the last row beaded with the middle of the lace not beaded. Oh, is that showing up? I hope so. There we go. So you see there's a slight difference in colour between the rambling rows and the briar rows, but it's just extremely subtle and gentle. And then with the beads, then it just adds just lines, and it'll add, as the light catches those beads, it'll just add sparkle and glitter just in a line on that. So I'm really pleased with how this is working up. So as I said, I'm ready to start the next section of the lace, and this yarn is so soft. Oh, it's lovely. It's really, really lovely. So that is the shawl that I have on my needles at the moment, and I'm really enjoying that knit. I'm going to really enjoy what a 2-colour version is going to offer compared to just using one solid colour. And it's a great pattern insofar as that you can use one colour like here, but it's perfect for using 2 or 3 colours, so it is. So that is my Granny shawl, and that is the last project that is on my needles. So we will move on into some treasure trove. I have a small amount of treasure trove. As I was saying, I had been getting the prizes for the shawl knit along, and some other things may have fallen into my basket along the way. So the first thing actually that I ordered a couple of weeks ago is this beautiful project bag from Busy Potter. Now this is the same place that I got my hedgehog bag from, and I happened to get this. Look at this gorgeous hair, and it is on the softest blue background. It's just beautiful. Look at this project bag, isn't it gorgeous? I think this bag is just beautiful. And then look at the inside, it's got this gorgeous check fabric on the inside, and it is so padded and soft. It's a wonderful project bag. I'm really delighted with that. I may have gotten some other ones of those for prizes for later in the year, but I'm not saying anything about that yet. When I was ordering the Alice yarns for the yarn prize for the shawl knit along, I got a skein of Alice yarns. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So this is going to be socks, and you're going to know why it's socks now in a moment when you see it, because it is called Yellow Submarine. Look at that yellow, isn't it fantastic? Look, oh my gosh, can't you just imagine this in socks? Isn't it going to be fantastic? Oh my word. This is why I need to finish the other wildflower honey, because I really want to cake this up and cast this on into a pair of socks. It'll be fantastic. So I did get that. I also got I got 2 new Eden Cottage yarns. I got these a good few weeks ago. This is These are both Oakworth 4-ply, which is 100% New Zealand Polworth wool. This one here is Thunder, and it's a purpley grey colour, so it is. I really hope it's showing up the colour on the screen. At the moment it doesn't look to be, but who knows, in editing it may. And this one here is Wild Raspberry. So that's these two together. I'm not sure whether these are going to become a new design or whether these are going to be, these may be a new design, or I may just use these for a shawl that I want to knit, maybe in the next shawl knit along. We'll see. I haven't just fully made up my mind on those. And the last thing I got was when I was ordering the project bag for the shawl knit along from Fondant Fibres, I got a skein of yarn and a skein of yarn and a project bag that that were a set. I couldn't think of the words. That were a set. So the yarn I got was this gorgeous. This is called Estelle. This is Estelle from Fondant Fibres, and it is superwash merino and mulberry silk. So it is really, really soft, and it's got pinks and blues in it, on a very pale blue base. And then the project bag that came with that was this beautiful, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, it is just gorgeous. It's a drawstring, and the drawstrings are velvet ribbon, and they're just lovely. This was just gorgeous. I saw this and I thought, oh, I need that. And it's a huge bag. Like it is quite huge. I would fit a garment in this, so I would, for definite. So this might have to be a new garment bag. Although I'm only allowed one garment at a time. I'm only allowed to knit one garment at a time. That's my rule. I'll try and stick to it, because otherwise there'd be a whole lot of garments and not a whole lot of them knit on. So that is all I have in Treasure Trove. Just a few bits, not too much. Not too much. So we will move on into Chitty Chit Chat. In Chitty Chit Chat, this episode, I have, as I said, we spent the first half of July, from the last podcast, we spent the first half of July doing some, I had 2 weeks off, I took 2 weeks off, and it was wonderful. We did a lot, we did a good few days out with the children, to all the places that they planned. I will try and put together a few pictures. I didn't bring the camera. I thought I was going to bring the camera, and then I decided no, I won't. So I do have pictures. So I'll try to put a few of those pictures together, maybe at the end of this episode, so that if you're interested, you can see them there. I might save some of the other ones for another episode, because there was a good few. We took a trip to Loch Bura, which is kind of like it's the boglands in the Midlands here, and they're preserved, and it's got walks around it and fairy gardens and lots of different sculptures. So we took a trip around there. That was fun. We had a lot of fun that day. We went to the cinema a couple of times. We went to the zoo as well, which was really great fun for my youngest. She hadn't been before, so it was a lot of fun for her. She really enjoyed the trip to the cinema, or the trip to the zoo. I'm trying to think what else did we do. We have a few other places now that we want to go to this month before the children go back. We just need to fit those in round. We've been catching up on movies. We've been watching a good few movies. some of the younger kids have decided that they're going to have a Harry Potter marathon, so they are watching all of them again. I think they're up to number 4. I think that's where they are. They're going through all of those. So we've had a few particularly wet and windy days here. So on those days they decide it's time to catch up with the next one. So that's handy. We've been doing that. Try to think what else did we do. We must have done more. Oh, excuse me. I've been watching a couple of different series on Netflix the last week or so. It's been particularly helpful with getting through some work knitting, because I've been watching those and I've just been knitting along. Oh, and I did make progress on some stitching. I'm going to show you. Oops. So you might remember when I took my cross stitch pieces back out, I had this piece here that was started. There we go. So I had this piece here that was started, and I couldn't find the threads for it. Not for ages. I just couldn't find it. I knew I had them somewhere, and I couldn't lay my hands on them. I knew I had put them all together in something, and I finally found them. They were all in a little tin I had. It was just a small tin. It was handy to sit beside me. This here is actually what the whole pattern will look like when it's done. So I am here, and I have started here. So I've down to here done on this here, and I'm down here on her dress. So I've not a whole lot left on it. And now that I've found the threads, I'll be able to finish on with that. But I was working on the cottage series that I was still working on January. So I brought it along to show you that. So I've added in, from the last day, I've added in the snowflakes. I finished off the roof of the house with the snow, and I filled in the little snowflake emblem on the front of the house. I finished the house. I just have to do the white in the bottom windows and in the door. The white, if I can get that in close enough. There we go. I have the white in the top windows done, and I just need to do the white in the bottom. And as I said, I filled in those, see the snowflakes there, around January. Those 3, 4. This one over here is 4. That one there is 4. And I think there's another 2 here. And then I have to do some snow along here. There's a snowman going to go somewhere around here, and then a tree that's going to go here, and then this border that's here runs along the bottom here. That there is my needle keep, so it is. So that there is my stitching. This is a lot slower going because it's on 40 count linen. I have no idea what I was thinking when I decided to do that on 40 count. It is tiny. I can only work on that during the day and with the magnifying lens. I don't know what I was thinking. This here is 30 count. So you see, this is a lot thicker, so it is. This one isn't on a frame now at the moment. Once I begin to work on it again, I'll stick it back on a frame. So you see, I did make some progress on those. I didn't work on them for a good few weeks, and just like that, I just got the desire to work on it again. And yeah, I think that's all I have in Chitty Chit Chat. So it is. Have we anything planned for the next week? I'm heading to the city with the older children during the week. My eldest has a birthday early in the week, and we're going to head to the city we'll take the train up. So we're going to do that for a day. I probably won't bring the camera along to video any of it, but I'll tell you about it. So they'll have to do. Other than that, I'll just be working on the projects that I have here. As I said, it's a bank holiday weekend here in Ireland this weekend, so it's a long weekend. So I get to sit back and relax a bit more. So I do. That's all I have for you. I am sorry that there was a delay between the last episode and this one. I had recorded about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago anyway. I had recorded an episode and I had uploaded it so that I could edit it, and I had no sound. Now my computer itself is, I have it a while and it needs updating, and I just assumed it was something with that. But I did hear, I had been speaking with Ellie, hi Ellie, from Craft House Magic, and she happened to be telling me that Windows had done an update, and there was some sound issues. It could be due to that. So I gave it a week or two, and during the week I discovered that my sound was all fixed. I was kind of glad I hadn't gotten out and gotten a new computer. I have to anyway, but I'd like it to be when I actually need a new computer, and not because the sound is gone from an update. So I, with the sound back and working again, I decided, I can record a podcast. So that is the reason why there was a delay in getting this next episode up to you. I hope I haven't been too out of practice. I don't think so, but you never know. So hopefully we can get back into the swing of it again anyway, and we'll get back to the weekly podcasts. So we'll leave it there, I think. If you enjoyed this episode, please do hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe, because that is the only way to be updated with any new uploads to the channel. And you'll find those down there, the like and the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I'm beginning to lose my words now. It's probably a good thing we're finishing. So I hope you all have a very relaxing, enjoyable week, and I will see you all again next week. Happy knitting. Bye.